Hey friends, it's Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead, and I'm just washing some eggs right now and thought I would use this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the balance between homesteading and homeschooling as a mother, and especially a mother of 7 children. Homesteading is an activity that requires a lot of hard work on my part, but it's cyclical work that is dependent on the seasons. And so some seasons will bring times where I'm busier on the homestead and have less time to devote to hands-on instruction with my children in their homeschool work. And in those seasons, they do more independent work, maybe what you would even consider unschooling or child-led learning. And then in the seasons like winter, where there's less work for me to do on the homestead, I do a lot more hands-on instruction with the children, and we do a lot more planned curriculum and really plugging away at the things that they really need me in order to understand and to learn. And so there is, I guess, a cyclical, season-based model for teaching in our home. You know, right now it is the beginning of September, and the month of August was very busy on my part. We have lots of animals that still need processed that we're taking care of outdoors. The garden's still producing. I'm in my heavy canning season, and so a lot of days were devoted to me working in the kitchen, and I didn't have time to sit down in the mornings and really plug away at the books with the kids, and that's fine. Because I know that soon enough the work will end as fall approaches and we head into winter. I'm going to have very little work to do, and I'll have more time to sit down, and we will spend most mornings then from 9 to noon plugging away at the books and really knocking out the lessons that we need to get done in order to complete their curriculum. And so it definitely is a cycle. I'd say, in the winter, I devote 90% of my time between the hours of maybe 8 to noon to homeschooling the children, to sitting in our family room and actually doing lessons. And then in spring, maybe that changes to 60% of my time is there, and maybe 40% of my time is devoted to, starting seeds and prepping gardens and doing those kinds of things. And then we'll move into summer, where it's sort of the opposite, to maybe where only 30% of my time is available for the children and their schooling, and 70% of my time during those hours of 8 to noon, requires me to be outside working or in the kitchen working. And then, we move into fall, and we'll get back to that kind of 70-30, and then finally in winter we're back to doing nothing but sitting in front of the wood stove and doing lessons and really just learning together. And so I guess my point in bringing this up is that when I first started homeschooling, I guess I felt like I was doing my children a disservice if I didn't find a homeschool method that worked for us and stick to it, 100%, that somehow my children would, that would affect them negatively. But I found that this is great. This cycle where the learning method and style changes works great for them, because they need times in their life where they have to sit down and I'm instructing them and they're learning from me and they have to do what I tell them to do. But they also need times in their life where they're the ones that pick what they want to learn and how they learn in the method. And so they're getting a much more diverse education, I feel like, by following this cyclical homeschooling method. finishing up with a load of laundry here, and I guess I wanted to take a minute to talk to you about unschooling and really what that means to our family, because I think it's a word that generates a certain idea amongst people, but I guess it means something different to us maybe than maybe what it means to you. So unschooling, I feel like, gets a bad rap. For a lot of people in the homeschooling community, they may think of unschoolers as kind of lazy homeschoolers that don't take the time to, you know, actually sit down with their children and do the work, and that the kids just kind of run free. And I guess I don't feel like that's the case. Our kids are inside working on their unschooling projects, and to me that just means child-led projects, things that they wanted to learn for today. And as I mentioned before, in our cyclical, seasonal homeschooling schedule, there are times where I sit down with pre-planned curriculum, with lesson plans, and I teach them what's in the books, and that information is important, I feel like, for them to learn. But right now, today, I'm getting ready to go pick up 4 bushels of pears here soon, and I'm going to be in the kitchen for probably the next 2 or 3 days canning pears. I don't have time to sit down and do the lessons with the kids, and that's okay, because the kids need time to do projects that they picked out, that they want to learn, that I didn't plan for them. And so I guess when I refer to our unschooling seasons in our year, it's not me setting the children free and letting them do whatever they want. They can't watch movies all day, they can't play video games all day. For me, there are kind of some strict guidelines that I give them, and so I guess I'll go over those. The way I explain it to the children is that your brain is a muscle just like any other muscle in your body. And just like with the excuse me. And just like with the muscles in your body, if you feed them nothing but junk and you don't exercise them, they're going to turn to mush and get weak. And so that's what I say about their brain, is that there are activities for your brain that work the muscle and exercise the muscle and make it stronger. And there are, I'm going to move away from this rooster. So there are activities that work your brain and exercise it and make it stronger, and there are activities that will turn your brain to mush because it's not giving your brain an exercise. Things like playing video games all day or watching movies. And so the rule with the children is that on these unschooling days where mom might be busy in the kitchen or working out in the garden or doing whatever, during the hours of 9 to noon or 8 to noon or whenever we've determined, you know, we would have been doing school on those days, they're required to do activities that are exercising their brain. And I've gone over with them good options, I guess, for each of them that would, you know, fulfill that exercise. And so for some of them it might be cooking or baking, because that's what they're really interested in. It might be reading a book. It might be playing chess with a sibling, or physical exercise outside is important for brain health. It could be doing some of their math curriculum on their own, because my big boys can do that now. It could be an art project. Anything like that is allowed on unschooled days, but it has to be something that I deem good exercise for the brain. So for me, unschooling isn't necessarily just setting them free and letting them do whatever they want. There are guidelines. And I am also available during those times. You know, I'll take a break between batches of canning, or I'll come in from the garden for a second, and I check in with them and see if they need any help with what they're doing. Or they come to me and ask, hey Mom, can you find, you know, some paints for me? I really want to paint today. So I am involved in this unschooling season. Isn't just them, you know, laying around in pajamas watching movies all day, which I guess is what some people feel like unschooling might be like. My point in sharing this today, I guess, is to answer the question that I often get in how do you do it? How do you homestead and homeschool as a mother? It seems like, you know, I don't have enough time. I'm wanting to homestead, but where would I fit that in? And I guess my answer to that is you have to be flexible with your role. You can't give 100% of yourself to homeschooling and homesteading at the same time. And the beauty of the homesteading lifestyle is that it provides ample opportunities for your children to work alongside you and learn in maybe some unconventional ways that don't look like homeschooling to you, but also fulfill those educational needs. And the two just work beautifully. And the wonderful thing, I guess, about this homesteading and homeschooling rhythm and balance is that it's tied so closely to the seasons. And there's a comfort in that. It's just a constant rhythm and cycle, and I don't know, for me that's really peaceful and comforting and cozy, I guess. We look forward to the winter for the time to just sit down with books and read and learn together, and we look forward to the summer and the times where the kids are free to learn in the ways that they want and need to learn, and I'm free to do the work that I want to do here on the homestead. And so if homesteading is something that you've really been wanting to do, but the fear of not having enough time to do it is your main concern, I guess my advice and encouragement for you would be to remain flexible in your idea of what homeschool should look like, and tie that learning into the cycle and the jobs around the homestead. And it all works out fine. And your children will be happy, your family will be blessed by all of this wonderful food you're growing on the homestead, and the opportunities for work and character building that the homestead provides. And that will enhance your homeschooling teaching, I guess. So with that said, I'm going to go check on the kids and see what they've chosen to learn about today. I think right now Gabriel is out halter training our calf. The girls are reading. David's inside baking some biscotti, and the little boys are running around playing. And I've got to bring this grain to the calf as her treat for all of the wonderful training that Gabe is doing. So I hope that you're having a great day as well, and that your family is blessed, and we look forward to seeing you again in another video soon.